Good morning. It's Anand here from Osho, Ireland, and today we're up to number 88 on the meditations in the Osho Book of Secrets. Um, as I reflect on, like from the beginning, from the very first meditation, what I'm seeing for me anyway, and I'd love to hear your thoughts, is we're moving from very practical based types of techniques that are now becoming more in depth. They're going deeper and deeper and deeper. So the earlier ones were more like using sound or sight or breath or all of the senses, because tantra is about using our senses, our experiencing to bring about witnessing and awareness. And these later ones are very much moving into the witnessing. So this particular technique is know the knower and the known. So the technique instructions are: each thing is perceived through knowing. The self shines in space through knowing. Perceive one being as knower and known. So Osho goes on to explain, what is this? Perceive one being, meaning us, as the knower and the known. So we've to be the knower and the known at the same time. And Osho explains that Gurdjieff brought about this, and it's called self-remembering. So what it is normally when we're out and about in the world, we see an object, a tree, a flower, the sky, a person, a bus, a car, any object. And all of our attention goes to that object. So our attention is pointed in one direction. Energy goes out to the object. And we don't remember ourselves. So we are focused on the object. So the known, okay, through our senses. We perceive through our senses and we see the object and we interact with it. And we get information about it, and that becomes the known. And then with meditation, with awareness, we go inward, so it becomes subjective. So we look within, and that's also one pointed direction, looking inward. So I'm looking at a rose and I'm experiencing the rose, and then if I can self-remember myself as I look at the rose, usually what happens is I look at the rose, then I focus on myself, and then I forget about the rose. The rose is no longer there, and I'm just seeing myself, my inner self. This technique is one to practice where I'm looking at the rose, I'm looking at myself at the same time, simultaneously. So this is where I'm being the knower and the known. And when this can happen, and it's very difficult, Osho says it's very difficult, and it takes time. When this happens, that I'm interacting with the object, I'm looking at myself simultaneously, then witnessing happens. And that's the ultimate. So that's what today's technique is about. So what Osho says about this is, I'm just going to get it here. He kind of tells us how we can do this. I'm just going to find it here in the Book of Secrets. And just find it here. So he says this method of Gurdjieff, which he calls self-remembering, or Buddha's method, which he calls right mindfulness, or this Tantra Sutra, lead to one thing. They lead within you to a point which is neither the known nor the knower, but a witnessing self which knows both. So as I'm looking at the flower, looking at myself, the witnessing happens. This witnessing self is the ultimate. You cannot go beyond it. because now whatsoever you do will be witnessing. Beyond witnessing, you cannot move. So he's saying, if you can perceive in yourself one point, which is both knower and known, then you have transcended object and subject. So what we're going to do is, Osho says, start by concentrating on something. So I'm going to flip the camera around, and for us to concentrate, we have this flower, or you can pick another object in your house. Okay? So Osho says, start by concentrating on something. When the concentration has come to be total, then try to move inwards. Become mindful of yourself and then try to balance. It will take time, months, even years. It depends on how intense is your effort, because it is the most subtle balancing to come between the two. So what we can do today is, I'm going to be looking at this beautiful plant, and I want to concentrate on it to the point that nothing else exists. It's just me and the plant. If you have a beloved with you, maybe you want to look at them. If you have something that you love, but we'll focus on that. And as we become total in our concentration, if you can then remember yourself looking at the flower and see how you get on with this balancing act. We'll do this together. And I'll ring 3 bells just to signal it's ended for this meditation. But you can continue on doing your practice afterwards. So I hope you'll enjoy this balancing act, or right mindfulness, or self-remembering. So enjoy. The great thing about this technique is it's one that we can really use in the marketplace. Osho talks about this all the time. If we go from one extreme where we're just focused on worldly or object focused, we're at one extreme. If we go to the Himalayas or a cave or hide away from the world, we're at the other extreme. There's still single points. This technique is about being in the world and being present and allowing witnessing to happen. You may have been aware of some background noises. That's part of being in the world. It's all part of it. Becomes that tapestry. So keep practicing with this technique. See if it's one for you. I've said previously on videos that if you connect with that technique, try it for 7 days. And if something really clicks, keep trying it for 3 months or more if it really sits with you. So thank you for joining me, and I will be back here again next Sunday at 11 a.m. Have a great day. Thank you.